Hello guys, welcome to the Crest show day 4. My name is Imo Williams. I am your host for today, and in the Crest show we're going to be sharing with you different professionals from around the world and talking about what they actually have gone through, their journeys, their expertise, the challenges, and how they're able to actually achieve a particular result or success in their business. Now today's guest is Quincy Molope. I hope I got that right. I'm going to ask her to correct us if I got that wrong. And she's actually from South Africa. She's a career coach and she's so diverse in what she's done. She's grown over the years since I've met her. And I actually want to get to follow her with her journey. I share with you what she's gone through so far. Now with Quincy, you get to understand the contentment of gifts. How Quincy was able to use her own gifts from her own observation and be able to grow a business that has been able to give her a lot of partnerships, a lot of connections, and a lot of networks just from understanding what her gift is. Do you like some of that? I do. And I'm going to be welcoming to stage Quincy Molope. You're going to have to correct me if I got that wrong. All right, guys, I'm going to join her. I'm going to add her up right now. So, Quincy, hello. Are you there? Woo, 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 woo,
Hello, 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 hello. It's so exciting to be here.
woo. How you doing?
Well, thank you, Imo. And yes, you did get my name right. It's Quincy Molope. You actually did a lot better than most people. So,
You know how we're doing? You know how we're doing? Wow. So glad to have you join us. It's been an honor getting to talk to you, getting to relate with you. And I'm glad to have you as a host. Okay.
it's actually like so exciting to be here. I love every conversation I have with you, whether it is a formal conversation or not. So it's
Oh,
really exciting to be here. And this is actually only my second Instagram live interview. So I'm ready to get going. And thank you for the platform as well, that you would share your platform with me. That's just so incredible. Thank you, Imo.
the pleasure is all mine. I am so glad to have you join me. I'm excited to have a session with you. I'm excited for us to dive deep into your story on actually how you were able to figure out your gifts, right? We're talking
Yeah.
about contentment of gifts, as in this thing called gift. People are always like, what's wrong with gifts? The major things to make money. Let's go and look for the money
Yeah.
wherever it is. But what I've come to understand that your gift has a very nice way of opening doors for you. Please, Quincy, share with us how you were able to uncover your own gift.
Well, thank you for the question, first of all, because I think it's actually a very big question and it's an important question because I'm
Yeah.
also all about like purpose living, right? Almost everything I talk about, my content, everything is driven. Even my solutions, my programs are all purpose driven. Everything we do
Oh,
is
wow.
tailor made around purpose. So I think
Okay.
it's important to then start by answering this question with my personal journey, and we take it right from the beginning for people to understand how do they not only figure out their gift, but like start to use it in a way that works for them. Like you mentioned in your introduction, it's not all about money, but money's nice, right? We all
You
want
know,
money. And you're going to use your gift to actually bring all of that money towards you in like an authentic way, in a natural way, right? So
mm-hmm.
my story, I used to actually think that my story began when I was maybe a late teenager, but the
Mm-hmm.
past 4 months we've spoken about this, about last year from like around October, I really took a dead to the world approach. I was offline. I switched off my phone for a
Oh,
good
wow.
month, 2 weeks at a time,
Oh,
because I
wow.
was feeling disconnected
Oh,
with
wow.
myself and disconnected with my purpose. So
Mm-hmm.
in that time, I actually discovered that my journey didn't start when I was a teenager. My journey actually started when I was 4 years old. And for
Four.
anyone who, when I was four, and
Whoa.
I know it sounds crazy, but I mean, like, our memory does develop around 4 or 5 years old. And for me, and we're going to talk about stuff that's a bit, it's my trauma, it's my experiences. So I know that it
Mm-hmm.
can be shocking as well, but I talk about it now as if it's so casual, but I've been literally running away from this trauma, running away from these experiences for the past 20 years of my life, right? For 2 decades, I've been running, trying to heal, trying to understand how this fits into my life, how it fits into who I am. And I'm on that journey now where it doesn't have a hold of me anymore. I finally grabbed hold of it, and I am now like in myself completely. So it's a lot easier for me to talk about. But when I was 4, I was sexually abused by one of the older kids in our neighborhood. And that completely changed the way I interacted with the world, right? I went from being a normal child to somebody who then literally understood in a moment that the world is not a pretty place, that the world is not beautiful, and that the people that I was playing with, interacting with, are not all like great people, right? And it also made me fully aware of what children and adults, when they see me and when they look at me, what do they see? And what they saw was a pretty little girl. And that would be like the cornerstone for my life's journey. That would be what I would be running away from as well in my life. I then grew up from that point, not trusting anyone. I was very cynical in my life. I didn't trust anybody in my community as well. And that also made me quite aggressive, right? So I turned into a little aggressive child, very rude, not really wanting to listen to what anybody had to say, because I realized that that was the complete polar opposite of the pretty little good girl that's going to be a beautiful wife one day narrative. And I was running away from this narrative that said all I will ever be in my life is somebody's beautiful wife. So I then spent that time observing human beings and observing their nature. I learned who to run away from. I knew instinctively who was not a good person or who would harm me or whose language, right? So I was triggered a lot by language. If anybody said anything like, oh, you know what, that girl is so pretty, she's so cute, bring her here, let her sit on my lap. I was like, no chance. That's not happening. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I've heard this before, I don't like it. So now imagine from 4 years old, I've spent my entire life running away from this, running away from the rumors, running away from the perception of who I am, because I'm a pretty girl. I should be fine. I will only ever be a trophy wife. I don't have to worry about anything in my life because I'm beautiful. Some man will be out there to look after me. We fast track now to 17, and you're now meeting me. I feel like I've succeeded. I feel like I've succeeded. I haven't experienced that trauma. You know what? I've managed to run away. I'm safe. Like, I'm safe. I did it. I'm 17. And then for the first time, I let somebody in, and this was somebody I trusted. And I was an extremely late bloomer as well. So I had my first kiss as well at 17, just to put it into perspective for you. And this person then went on to rape me. And that completely disconnected myself from my life, right? Because I'm thinking, I finally did it. I won. I made it here without any more trauma. I made it here. And then this happens in a moment where I trusted somebody, in a moment where I didn't hear it and I didn't see it. And I felt broken. I was like, this whole time I thought I understood people now. I thought I was using my gifts. I thought I knew, because I mean, in that time I also learned how to read people, understand, and I felt like I did something wrong here and that's not working. Maybe I'm on the wrong road. Maybe I'm on the wrong journey. And, you know, you go into depression. That was also like the worst 2 years of my life. 17 and 18 were like terrible years for me. Late high school, I went through depression. It was a tough time for me. But I realized then, and I had a lot of moments in those 2 years, and I realized then that actually that is where my gift lies. And I talk about this with every person I have a conversation with. In that dark space, I was depressed, I was suicidal, and I realized that thing that I've been running away from, that everybody keeps talking about, that everybody keeps shining a light on, is actually my gift. And I'm going to prove them wrong. I will not be a pretty trophy wife. Well, maybe I will, because I can't do anything about my face. This is my face. This is who I am. But I will not just be that, right? Yeah. And that's why my journey, that's why it's so important for me to keep talking. And I have a soft space for the girl child, right? I talk to women, I talk to young women, I talk to girls. And for me, it's about that. It's about, I made it my life's mission to excel at everything I did that had nothing to do with the way that I looked. I excelled at my academics. I excelled in sports. I excelled in school cultural activities, because I was going to prove to them that I was more than my body, and I was more than what my body or my face could give me in life.
Yes.
And that's where I realized where alignment came with my attacks, you know, the things that have hurt me, but also with my actual God-given gifts and talents of observation, figuring out problems, because I realized early on as well that I'm a problem identifier. I'm sure you've also noticed that, Imo, you know, I'm very good at identifying problems. And so I used that. I went to school, I got my education. I actually started thinking I was going to be a doctor, and that wasn't actually where I was meant to be. So I did my BCom, and
Yeah.
I was in corporate for about 6-7 years before I realized that that wasn't the space for me either. And that's why I say, you know, discovering your gift is a long process and it's a
Okay.
long journey. You're not necessarily
Mhm.
just going to almost pick it up in a day. And it can be frustrating sometimes when you don't understand how patient you need to be, even in the dark times, like
Yeah.
even in the shadows, how patient you need to be in identifying. But I then realized there where my gifts lied. And fast forward, it led me now to 2019, where I quit my corporate job to start
Mhm.
career coaching full time.
Yeah.
Because
Which is what I
I've
met
been
to.
exactly. So yeah, that is my journey in a nutshell. And I think that puts perspective into why purpose, number one, that conversation is important to me. And why, you know, the girl child, why young women are important to me, and why I always say for me, it's about financial freedom. It's about having fulfilling careers, because what I really want every woman who comes to me to understand is that they are more than their body,
Yeah.
and that they can create for themselves
Yeah.
like freedom and economic stability through the work of their minds and the work of their own hands, and not have to necessarily rely on anybody else. And if you have to do it through corporate, then I'm the one that you can come and speak to, because I have no ills with corporate. Not everybody's meant to be an entrepreneur straight away. Some of our journeys are going to start in corporate. They're going to start working for somebody else until we transition. So from that time of your journey where you're still in corporate and trying to figure that space out, that's where I specialize in
Wow. Wow. Um Whoa, I got a bit shocked. I'm actually really glad that the journey you went through
yeah,
was actually an eye opener to where you are right now. You know, that was created to break you, right? To
yeah,
make you look down on yourself and not understand your own value. But then you now found light in it, you found strength in it. And from that, you've grown a really good business, which is obviously expanding and growing bigger and bigger, right? And I love that. I love the fact that you are working towards creating a business that is just more than just a pretty face, because you're pretty. But then you're obviously way more deeper than the pretty face, right? And you
right.
do so well. You do so well in telling people what they need to do, what career path they should go to, helping people figure out what is the thing about them, because now you're able to look down into yourself and now look at people and say, you know what, I can help you figure out what your
Yeah,
gift is. I can help you figure out what you should focus on. I can help you figure out what kind of business or what kind of corporate entity you can go and work with that will own your craft, to give you finance so you can be more than just a face and more than just a body.
absolutely.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm
Um,
sorry. I know, like, I know. I think I also always feel so bad about telling my story, because then it gets people emotional, and then
no,
I don't know what to do.
no, I really appreciate it. I really do. I respect the bravery. I
Yeah,
respect the bravery in sharing such a deep story. And I respect the fact that you've turned your mess to a message that is growing bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay, so um well while you were on your journey, right, creating this business now, a career business,
yeah.
what were the challenges that you faced in building it up?
Okay, well, so we've gotten very personal. So I think I'll just keep going in that direction, so people actually know that, you know, starting a business as well wasn't easy, right? It's not easy anymore.
Yeah,
You run your own business as well, and I'm sure you've got your challenges. But I think
yeah,
one of the biggest ones, or rather, so I was interview coaching part time for about 4 years before I decided to quit corporate and do this full time. So
yeah,
I already had like an aptitude for it. I kind of already had that experience with one-on-one coaching sessions, tailor making it and everything. But going official and making that my income was quite scary. So there were a few things that I had challenges with at the beginning. And one of the first ones was sort of establishing myself as an authority in that space, right? It was getting other people to understand what I was trying to do, my gifts in the space, my skill set, how all of that aligns, and how I can help them make the moves, like you said, for their careers, and get into the right paths and navigate corporate that way. So that was difficult. And it took almost a year for me to establish that authority, consistently being online, consistently sharing my knowledge, but also developing a niche, right? So I realized at the beginning that maybe my message was a bit too broad. So towards the end of 2020, so just for the guys at home who are watching, so I quit my corporate job in 2019. December of 2019 was my last month in corporate. And then we went live with Hello Coach K in March. And then literally 2 weeks after, our country went into lockdown because of COVID. So it was not in the cards at all to move my very face-to-face offering and interactions with people online. But we had to, right? So then that also forced me now to cement myself and to place myself as an authority quite quicker than what I was expecting to, because now I had to reach my customers in a different way. Word of mouth just wasn't going to cut it. And it was really scary. It was really scary going online. I won't lie to you. It was frightening because, first of all, I now have to share my story with people that don't know me, with people that don't know anything about me. And I have to do it in such a way that's creating and generating trust. I'm not just somebody who's calling and just asking you to give me your money. I am actually really good at what I do, and I'm actually your champion, right? I'm not just going to be a career coach. I always say to my clients, I'm your career partner. So along your journey, when you come to me for CV construction, you're going to come back and we're going to do your LinkedIn profile. And then you're going to come back and we're going to do your interview coaching when you get that job. And we're going to get you ready. And then you're going to come back when you start your job and we're going to do a happy dance together. And we're going to say, we did it. And then we're going to go through and I'm going to coach you through your first year of corporate, because that place is dangerous. That place is tricky. It's really tricky to navigate, especially as an African as an African woman, whether you're black, colored, or Indian. It's really difficult to navigate. And there's so many stealings and dead ends along the way, and it can be discouraging. So I'm saying I'm there for your first year as well. And if you need me after that, I'm there as well. If you just want to pick up the phone call, listen, we're going to have these conversations. We're going to settle you. We're going to give you direction. And you're going to go out there and you're going to empower your own purpose. Not my purpose, but your purpose. So it was really scary for me and difficult for me to translate what I'm saying to you now. And I can say it to you now because I've been doing it for a while now. But to translate that into a social media post was difficult. Because you also don't want to seem too forcible. So anyway, so establishing authority was one of them. My next challenge then that I had in my business was designing a model that still gave my clients the same feeling when I was face to face with them and over a Zoom screen, for instance. And because that was where now my business shifted to, right? And I'm really actually grateful for COVID. I don't want to lie to you. So I know that it's been devastating. I know it's been a disruption, but you'll also see with my series Reinvention Africa, I'm all about the opportunity that COVID actually brought and all of the good things and the hope. So that was one of them. And it forced me to go online, and it forced me to now almost have a better presence online, if I can put it that way. So I'm able to translate who I am in person over a virtual system as well, and still make my clients feel comfortable, still make them feel open, and still get them to sort of understand where I'm coming from, and to sort of guide them through that journey as well, right? And the next one, I'll stop here, I promise. The third challenge, that I had was pricing. It was pricing my models, and that's a mental block. I realized that from having conversations with you. Actually, I realized it from having conversations with other professionals, is that is a real mental block that women go through when they start their own businesses. You don't think you're worthy. I didn't think I was worth what I wanted to charge. I didn't think anybody would come to me if I charged what I wanted. And so there was a price for my time, and I knew how much my time was worth. But what I was charging my clients was here, like down,
Yes.
down, down, down.
Yeah.
You know, because I thought that is what they could afford. Remember, I focus on graduates and young professionals. So that
I
was my
know.
thinking. And I know you're shaking your head because you've been
Yes.
through this. But so we went through that, and I've changed my pricing model about 3 times. And I think I'm finally at that place where I've figured out the balance of value and worth. And I know that anybody who understands it will come and they will get it,
Yes.
you know?
That's it.
So yeah. So yeah, those were my 3 challenges in a nutshell. In a nutshell.
Whoa. Okay. So I kind of got carried away with your first challenge. The first, what I remember first was a niching, finding your niche.
Yes, finding my niche.
And the
The
second
second one
one
The
was
second one
creating a
was
model.
establishing, yes,
Yeah,
was
creating a
establishing
model.
authority and yes, creating a model. And then the third one was
Third
pricing.
one was pricing. So niching is obviously a big issue.
Yeah.
If you're not niched, you're going to have a very broad message, and you're not going to connect with
Yes.
anybody else. And I love the fact that you went through that journey and could see it for yourself. Model obviously explains the journey, take your clients through from them understanding who you are to what kind of results you're going to give to them. And that's obviously valid. These are valid challenges. And then pricing, where you give your price. You know, I'm worried about the 4 figures. You know me now.
Yeah.
4 figures in dollars, you know, but hey, I ain't gonna ask you that question, but you know how we do it. Because if you get your client results, then if you get a client result, don't be afraid to price, right? Yeah. Now I love the fact that, okay, so these 4 different challenges, how did you come out of them? How were you able to navigate through them and be able to now come out successful? How were you able to do that? Please share with us.
I think one of them was experience, right? I mean, like you said, results also give you confidence, right? So it's like I knew I was good at what I did, but I also really needed other people, not sort of validation, but I mean that is important as well in a coaching business. When you have your clients who come back and say, "Listen, your solution was actually powerful, and it helped me actually to do this," and we can have those conversations together and say, "Okay, cool. So what didn't you actually like, or what did you like?" Or where can we improve, or how can I make this transition a lot better for you? So I think experience really helped, but also just again going quiet and realigning back to my original why. Like, why did I start doing what I'm doing? Why did I quit corporate? Why is the girl child or young woman important to me? And that's why I started, this conversation with you all the way back to the beginning, to when I was 4, so that people can understand as well where my mind was and how it traveled to eventually be like this confident career and interview coach that you see today. And today I stand on that foundation of my initial why. I stand on the foundation of my experience. I just did a happy dance with a client today, actually. She sent me a message and I said to her, "Hey, Latano, I actually haven't heard from you since I think I had a session with her in November last year. And she said, I wanted to let you know that I started applying and I'm waiting for an offer from one of the biggest banks, in South Africa." And we did a happy dance. We were like, yes, this is what we wanted. This is, what we've been looking for. So I think it is that it's just that mindset shift for myself to say, this is why I do what I do. And I'm going to be consistent, and I'm sticking to this line, and I'm going to be unmoved. I'm not moving off of this line. And this is where I am. And this is where this is where you're going to find me, whether you're an individual, whether you're a corporate, whether you're a foundation, but this is where you're going to find me. So if you want somebody to come and have a conversation with you about graduates and young professionals, this is where you're going to find me. And that was it.
Wow. So finding out your why helped you a lot. Understanding your value and being content in your values was another thing that also helped you out. Did I miss anything else?
And I think, like I mentioned, just experience and interacting more with clients.
So your experience obviously helped you as well. Great. So obviously the experience working with clients, then you understanding your why, then coming in alignment. You mentioned alignment. Come in alignment to understand why did you start this in the first place. To give you to understand, to obviously enrich the value in which you give to clients, which is wonderful. All right. So all these things came from you understanding your gift, right? Did these things actually come because you were, did this come because you were content with yourself, or did they just come because we are looking for more ways to make money or more ways to make impact? Like, how did
Yeah.
being content with your gifts, your personal gift now, help you in all of this?
Yeah, so money wasn't really a driving force for it. Remember, I was earning really well in corporate. So I was earning really well for what I was doing for my age as well.
Mm-hmm.
I progressed very fast in corporate for where I was, despite being told I was too young, too black, too female. I still managed to really grow quite quickly. So for me, what drove me and what made me content was finally listening. I was just having a conversation today with a friend of mine, and she's going through the same kind of emotions that I went through before I quit corporate, where she's
Yeah.
feeling like her light has been turned off. She's not the woman she was. She's
Mm,
not the wife she wants to be. Even
yeah.
at home, her kids don't know her the same way. And that's where I was. So my whole life,
Oh, wow.
I have always known that I was going to venture into something like this, but I didn't know what it
Mhm.
was. Let's be honest, let's be real, right? Even when
Yeah.
God shows you a vision of your life or your purpose, he
Mm-hmm.
doesn't show you the how or the why or the where. You just kind of get a
Sure.
feeling, right? And you almost get the bigger picture of it. So I
Yeah.
really had no idea what Hello Coach K would be or would look like. This was still also a journey for me. But what I always knew was that I wasn't necessarily going to be in corporate for long. I knew that corporate was a milestone for me. I just didn't know why. And the year that I decided to quit corporate was because that thing in me, like that thing that we call purpose or light or destiny or whatever, was kind of niggling. I don't know if that's even the right English word,
Mm,
but it was crawling up from my stomach and it was like
mm,
holding me in my chest. And
mm,
it was
mm.
making everything difficult because it was in my language we say in a hupilwe, it was so trapped. It was trapped. Yeah, in a hupilwe. Yeah, it was trapped within me, and it was
Mm,
literally fighting me to get out, to come
mm,
out of me. And
mm.
I struggled with that because there is no plan, right? There is no plan. You want me to jump off of a cliff and
Yeah.
follow my purpose and follow my destiny, but there's no plan, there's no blueprint. And also you're thinking that you're like, and if I do this, where am I going to get the money from? How am I going to survive? I'm currently in
Yeah.
a two-income household. My husband and I are earning. We're living comfortably. We've got two little children. They're able to go
Mm-hmm.
to the school that we want them to go to. We eat what we want to. That's a big thing for me. Hey, food. Like food is a big,
Good.
big, big, big thing for me
I
because
like it.
yeah, it's because I want to open my fridge and have what I want. Like when growing up, like we were not rich. We weren't rich growing up, but we also were not extremely poor. So my parents worked really hard to get us to food head over our. So for me, if I don't have the food that I want in my house, I'm moving backwards. So anyway, that's a trigger
Ah.
for me. Okay. Yeah, so that's like an indication of whether or not like how things are kind of going. Just a little thing. So, and I'm like, we are living the kind of life that we have planned for, worked hard for, and now all of a sudden God is saying to me, I need you to jump now. I need you
Mm.
to move and I need you to go. And it wasn't such a difficult decision to make at that point in time because I was so depressed, right? I was back now in a state of depression. I had been fighting it off for so long and I've been doing really well. And now I'm back in a state of depression. No matter how much I see the triggers coming, it's not working. Anything that I'm trying to do to get myself out of this pit isn't working. And he's saying, because you're not where you need to be. I have
Mm.
destined you. I've purposed you for something bigger. You know that
Mm.
you are a seed as well. And I said this before is that, we are seeds. And when you live in your purpose, you're literally
Yeah.
allowing other people to blossom and bloom. And
Yeah.
with every interaction you're doing, with every impact, you're allowing other people to be everything that they need to be too. So if I
Yes.
wasn't being all of who I was meant to be, all of those
Yeah.
little trees, will never
Yeah.
will never be planted and will never blossom. So I found contentment in that. Like once I finally made the leap and I jumped, and as scary as it was, as many challenges that I've had in the last year and a half have been, I have been the most content in my life. You can see me, like if you saw pictures of me from 2 or 3 years ago, my complexion has even changed.
Ooh.
I've lost weight. I am happier. I am just more aligned than ever before, but also more confident in what I'm doing with my life, and understanding that what I'm doing is what I'm meant to be doing, which is a beautiful gift. It's a gift to be able to know your purpose at my age, to be living it, and to be making deliberate, conscious decisions every single day to stay in that purpose as well, right? And to stay on track with that journey. So this is my space. This is where I am, and I'm happy right here. And the more it grows, yeah, and that's what happens as well, right? And we've spoken about this. I'm pretty sure we have. You do this and you live in your purpose, you also need to get back that financial reward. It will come.
Yes.
Like I promise you, that financial reward actually does come. So I'm living off of my coaching business. I'm able to contribute to the household income. Although my husband is doing a fantastic job, we are literally living like it's a one household income right now because it's still my baby, this business of mine. But I'm proud that every single month I'm bringing in an income. And I've got an aim, I've got a goal. I'm like, by the end of the year, this is my goal. This is how much I should be earning. This is how much I should be doing. And this is also like a good sort of gauge, I suppose, as well on how you're doing, because there is no way that you can live in your purpose and struggle financially. That is not the kind of kingdom principles I believe in. So those two things go hand in hand. But you will just be a happier person when you are chasing money through your purpose, not just for the sake of money. Yeah.
Whoa. So I was just looking for contentment in gifts, but you've gone deeper than what I was even looking out for, and this is wonderful. So one thing I'm picking down is that when you focus on your gift and you're content in your gift, even if it's scary, even if you feel depressed, even if you're not sure, there's so much uncertainty, but you follow your purpose, you go for it, you would always be able to earn from it. And one thing about purpose, that when you work in purpose, you would earn. That's something I'm picking from you right now. Wow. And you don't have to chase money for the sake of money. You chase money. Not only chasing money. Does it actually feel like you're chasing money? I feel like it's more like it comes towards you. Does it ever feel like you're chasing money?
No, it doesn't. It feels like I'm attracting. You attract that stuff, right? You don't chase it. Like, yeah.
Wow. So and that's wonderful. So the different challenges you mentioned before was your experience, your pricing, you know how to create your models. Did these things, and then being able to have, obviously now, since you're converting to your business, being niching down and having consistent clients and all of that, you didn't complain about having consistent clients. Did you ever have issues with having consistent clients?
Sorry, can you just repeat that for me? I lost you a bit. I think your network cut off.
Okay. So I was saying that now you mentioned that your challenges before were on pricing, creating a model, being in alignment, niching down. Yeah. Now I want to ask, all these things, did any of these things affect your inflow of clients?
Did it affect mine?
Did it affect your inflow of clients?
Oh, okay, cool. Sorry. There you go. I hear you now. So funny enough, actually, I like that question now that you bring it up. So before, when I was kind of still trying to learn and figure out, and I told you I hadn't quite sort of bugged down my niche and all of that stuff, I was doing okay. I was maybe getting a client or two every month. I was, it was okay. It was fine. But once I came back in January, because Jan was when I came back and I said, this is actually now what I'm doing. This is who I am. This is going to be my focus. I'm clear. Like I know exactly what I need to be doing, who I need to be speaking to, and why I need to be speaking to them. Yeah. I've had maybe 2 clients every week, 2 or 3 clients every week, to the point where I had to take a break because I was like, I'm actually burning out a little bit. I was like, I need to take a break. And honestly, I can only say that happened because I was finally in alignment with my message.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh no, you talk about messaging all the time, but it was because finally, right? Like, yay! Like finally, my message was clear. And so my potential clients and who I wanted to attract knew that I was speaking to them, right? So I wasn't it wasn't difficult anymore to come up with the social media posts that I needed to come up with. It didn't take me, or it didn't take me a long time to try to figure out what I want to say, because I've always known what to say to them. I just didn't have that fear anymore. I knew exactly who I wanted to speak to, but I also dropped like my corporate language. So like I came from a corporate space, so I used to think that very formal business language is the way that you need to communicate with people,
Yeah.
especially when you are expressing like a business. I'm expressing my
Yeah.
business and what I do and my skills. And I dropped that this year. So I dropped that and I was like, I actually need to just speak like me. Like I need to talk like Quincy.
Wow.
Even though I train people in corporate communication, I need to be able to show them that you can switch it on and off when you need to. And who they need to hear is Quincy. They don't need to hear the business analyst or the continuous improvement specialist.
Yeah.
They need to hear their career partner. So I also did that change. And I promise you, it was like an inflood of people who just finally understood it. And it's been such a blessing. It's the only way I can explain it. Because, and I also put it out into the universe. I said, you know what, Lord, these are the 4 pillars that I'm focusing on this year. And I want to engage more with my graduates and my young professionals. I want to speak more live. And here I am on a live interaction with you. Right? I said, I want to reach out and I want to speak on radio more. And I have a segment on a community radio station called Career Ready that I do every week, Monday to Wednesday. Like that's happening. And then one of the bigger ones was I said, I really want to partner more with corporates and with foundations that can help me reach more and more people. And I'm having those conversations, Imo. It blows my mind, actually, the shift that happens once you are fully aligned and you have a clear vision or clear goals that you've set for yourself that year, because you think it and then you speak it out and it literally, like, it comes back. And it doesn't mean that didn't take work, right? I've still been working. I'm working. I had to approach radio stations to get that, right? I had to share my wisdom to attract my clients. I had to be consistent in my message. I had to establish myself as an authority to attract those corporate clients and those foundations as well. So it's not like I was sitting back doing nothing. My husband actually said 2 weeks ago, we were talking about this, and because I said to him, I'm amazed by all the beautiful things that are coming my way. And he said to me, you know what, babe, there's only one thing that God cannot work with or cannot bless. And he said, God cannot bless your silence, right? God cannot bless your silence. He can do nothing if you are quiet. So he said, firstly, you worded it. He said, no, first there was the word. And no matter what religion or creed you are, whatever, you will believe in whatever entity, whether you experience speaking to the universe or to God, or whether that's a Christian God or not. It doesn't matter. I don't care. But because we are a Christian home, we speak about Christianity. And he said, God cannot bless your silence. And you've seen this change because you've not only been vocal about what you want, but you've then put your words to action. And so he can bless you easily. Like he can start releasing and releasing and releasing. And yeah, that's been the space that I'm in. And it's a really exciting time to be in it. I mean, you'll see, I'm one of those people, I go so quiet when I'm excited. I don't necessarily go like full on bonkers or crazy, but yeah, so I've been in a really like quiet space. I've been in a really quiet space in my life. Yeah. And it's been amazing.
Whoa. I mean, this is lovely. I'm just hearing good news upon good news upon good news. I'm like, okay. Wow. This is wonderful. All just from you owning on your gift, focusing on your purpose, streamlining on what was in alignment with you, and not being afraid to take the step. And one more thing, speaking out what you want. God cannot bless you. I love that. I'm like, okay, I'm going to what you should say. Just
I chose well. Yeah, no, I married very well. I married well. He's amazing.
You did. Over well, Seth. Over well. That's great. That's wonderful. I love that mindset. I love the way you're looking at your life right now, looking at your gift, looking at your business, being able to merge it. And I love how you're now being very authentic. Very authentic. This, I'm telling you, your openness during this show is magnificent. Magnificent. I am blown away with your transparency during this. I'm telling you, it's beautiful. And I'm sure that whoever listens to this replay, will people and they're scared of taking steps in their life, they would be not, they will be scared no more. And they would follow that nudging in the spirit, right, to take the step and walk towards their dreams, because they understand that even if they do not move forward with it, they are not having rest. There's a difference between just being restless and you having
Yeah.
a nudging in your spirit, because that nudging doesn't go away. One
No,
month,
and in
two
fact,
months,
it
three
gets worse.
months, 4 months, it's still there, right? It
Yeah.
doesn't. So it's gonna be there. Even 1 year can pass and it's still there. And then at a point, it starts
Yeah.
affecting your peace. It starts affecting it.
Yes.
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 So like agreed, how authenticity is amazing. I'm telling you, it's amazing. Such a blessing, Quincy. Thank you so much. Seriously, guys, if you have any question for Quincy, please let me know. Right in the comment section. We're about to round up right now. But this has been amazing. Like seriously, wow. Right? And I now love the fact of how people can actually just get up and go, and how you now attract
Yeah.
clients, being able to now be more confident. And there's so many things that have happened to you just in being in alignment. Guys, if you have a gift, stay in alignment. Please, Quincy, do you have anything you want to leave with people right now before we round up? Like with them being to go to find their gift and be able to be content with it. Please, do you have anything to share with us on that? Just like a summary
Um,
or a quick
yeah,
hack.
I think a quick.
Yes, I
I
like quick
think
hacks.
I think for me, it's always be authentic, right? I spoke about how for me, sort of, I started attracting the things I needed and the things I wanted once I was not only just in alignment with who I was, but when I was fully confident in exactly who I am. And I didn't try to alter myself or change myself in any way. I mean, I speak to one of my big aims is actually just to get our kids, our youth exposed to corporate language, exposed to English, because they need it. They cannot run away from it. They interview in English. They're going to speak to their stakeholders in English. And Imo, I don't know if you know the South African culture, but my English accent is considered like a Model C. It's considered very rich. Like, you know, people will talk about how, oh, that accent you can hear, that's a private
I
school,
actually
you
like
know,
it. Yes.
accent. Yes, but for the kids as well that I work with, especially in our foundation and even on the radio station, they don't speak like me, and they think that
Oh.
not speaking this way is an indication of intelligence. They think that it is an indication of, you know, their capabilities or their abilities, and it's not at all. Like, your
Yeah.
knowing English, that's got nothing to do with it, and how you speak has nothing to do with it. And it's so easy to get caught up, especially in my environment, to get caught up and think, well, to reach them, I have to change my accent, and I need to change it, and I need to start speaking the way they do. And I heard a lot of it from people to say, well, they're not going to relate to you because you don't speak like them. You don't come from where they come from, and you don't speak like them. And I said, well, but this is me. And this is my calling. And they're going to get me just the way I speak. They're going to understand where my heart comes from for them, just the way I speak. Because there's no
Yes.
sense in me changing who I am, but then still trying to communicate to you that you need to be you to be
Yeah.
successful. Right? So that is
Yes.
just that's not balanced. So I think for me, more than anything else, and it's what I leave every single client that I have that I speak to, is be authentic in yourself, be
Yes.
confident in what you offer and what you bring. Skills are transferable. Skills, you can learn them just the same as a language and an accent. You can learn it. I can switch my accents too if I wanted to, but I'm not going to for anyone. So be
Yes.
authentic in yourself, be confident in who you are. Literally, you have been designed and you are beautifully made for a particular purpose and to shift in spaces that you need to be in. And the worst thing that you can do for yourself is to change who you are and then not have your destiny recognize you when you get there. Right?
Wow.
And then, and that's the problem with that, is then all of a sudden your destiny goes, I don't know if that's Quincy I was waiting for. The Quincy I was waiting for was supposed to be like this and like this and like this and like this. But this person doesn't look, okay, I'm going to just step back a little bit. And when she reaches me, I'll be there. Now you've now completely wasted a cycle of your life and a season in your life because you were pretending to be something you are not. So be who you are, because your gifts and your blessings are waiting for you just the way you are. I help you to upskill yourself in certain things so that you can get through that door, like burst that glass ceiling and all of that, but I'm not changing who you are at all. I'm just giving you the tools to be able to navigate that system and nail that interview and articulate yourself well. But we are not here to change you. We are just here to amplify you. And that is my hope. That is my dream for every single person that I interact with and that comes across me, is just amplification of who you are so that you can walk out there and do you in your most optimal confidence level. Confidence above all else. So that would be my closing words.
Whoa.
Thank you for having me, Imo. This has been amazing.
I want to like breathe a bit. Oh, wow. Okay. Let me see if I can remember. Be authentic so that your purpose actually gets to recognize you. And that was like, whoa. You know, gets to recognize you and can come and walk within alignment. I'm like, jeez, that's wonderful. Guys. If you are having difficulty in having clarity in your business, in your life, drop mic. Thank you.
Oh, I can't see the comments. I can't see the comments. I'm not.
Let me read.
Yeah, I'm not wearing my glasses.
Let me
Thank you.
Monko, I can't spell the name, but let me just read it. Agreed, authenticity is amazing. Such a blessing, Quincy. Thank you so much. Imo and Quincy, I could listen to you forever. Thank you, girl.
Thank you.
Thank you. That person, that's Diana. Another person, wow, Quincy, your destiny must know who you are. Wow. I'm like, yes. And then non-Kusefolo. I'm sorry if I killed the name. Just forgive me. Says, drop mic. And I'm like, sister or brother, yes. At this point, we're good to go. So guys, if you need clarity, your career, your gifts, find out who you are, know what direction to go to, please get in touch with Quincy, right? Get in touch with Quincy. Her Instagram name is Hello Coach K. If you're not sure, check the post before this video. In fact, even this particular video, I'm going to still type her on it. You can just follow her on Instagram and reach out to her. If you're still having issues, go to LinkedIn where it's all bubbling, man. Go to LinkedIn. Her name is Quincy. The spelling is going to be on the post. Quincy Molokwe. Go check her out. Connect with her. Reach out with her and let her take you up in her system and let her start coaching you. So you don't live your life aimlessly. So you can find out what you need to do. Find out your purpose. Be in alignment with your purpose. Niche down in what you're supposed to do and be able to start getting our results as soon as possible. The ladies in the buildings, we're going to be more than just pretty faces and nice bodies. Yes? Queen
yes.
All about. If you watch the replay, you understand why I made that statement, right? Man, guys, so reach out to Quincy. Let her help you out with your even it doesn't have to be only career, because she says career, but if you ask me, I'm like, see, man, this will be more than, I'm like, you know, if you need clarity, reach out to Quincy. She's gonna be a plug in getting clarity with your purpose. She's good at it clearly, and she's so authentic clearly, and she understands the journey you're going through. Whether you're coming out from corporate or you're starting a business, she has gone through it and she's gonna help you with it. Someone says, LOL, cool. Quincy knows me. I love her so much. Of course you would. Who would love her? She's wonderful. Another person says, you're a fantastic human being, Quincy. Great life. Oh, well, Quincy, you got some nice reviews, girl. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So thank you so much for joining us with the Crest Show Day 4. Looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow, 7 p.m., same time, same place. And keep living a fulfilled life. Bring your friends, bring your colleagues. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend to come over because the juice will keep on spilling. All right, guys. See you tomorrow. Stay blessed. And Quincy, thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
there.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, guys. See you. And I'm signing out. All right.